Since starting my rebounding journey 50 days ago, my weight has gone up and then up some more. I'm going to tell you in a minute how much, but first, let's talk about what's going on here. Because if this happens to you, I want you to have some positive thoughts that you can turn to help you anchor into your goal so that you can stay the course. When I began my rebounding journey, my very first bounce was on May 3rd, 2025. And I set off with the goal of getting into shape so that I could be stronger and leaner. Specifically, I wanted to lower my body fat percentage by a lot and release over 100 pounds of weight. And I've been so open with you about what I'm striving for, that this is a weight loss journey, that this is about getting stronger. And I value every other single achievement that I am experiencing from working out daily on the mini trampoline. I value each micro and macro milestone that I am achieving, big and small, because they are a part of this journey. They are the stepping stones to me getting to my end result. But I also am being honest with you that I am really, really, really ready to release the unwanted weight. And because I am committed to the journey, I am prepared for it to move slowly if needed. It's not like I'm manifesting it to be slow, but I'm not going to be unrealistic expecting it all to evaporate instantly and to be super fast. I am committed to the process. And I acknowledge that after years of struggle that has got me here, I am open to giving my body the space that it needs to heal and work through this process. I have done the work to create these thoughts, these empowering thoughts that anchor me into my commitment. And I've set up the best accountability and encouragement by deciding to publicly work out with you here on YouTube. And you have been amazing, encouraging me and supporting me. And I thank you for that. So I was ready for all of this in the sense that I was ready for it to be an effort. I was ready for it to take consistency. I was ready to do the work on and off the rebounder. And I have only been weighing myself every other week because I want to collect the data, but at the same time, I don't want to be consumed with the scale and checking in on my weight every single morning that I wake up. That doesn't feel right to me. You do you. So Thursday, I go down to the place where I get my full body scan done. That's where they take my weight, they calculate my fat percentage, my metabolism, my muscle mass, my water, all the other things. And this is the third time since I've started my journey that I've had this done. I had it done at week 2, week 4, and now week 6, exactly 2 weeks spaced out every time. And the number was up 10 pounds since I first measured. So from week 2 to week 6, which is exactly 4 weeks, 1 whole month, I have gained 10 pounds. 10 pounds, friend. And I don't know about you, but that's a lot in my opinion. And that's more than a gallon of milk, which if you imagine having to carry around a gallon of milk all day long, that would get pretty tiring. Siri just told me that a gallon of milk is 8.6 pounds, and I've got 10. But friend, here's where I got confused. The amount of weight, that is so exhausting to think about. But I am moving better, and I am going up and down the stairs this year. And now when I get to the top of the stairs, I am feeling winded for a moment that I have to pause, especially if I've been carrying something. I may even just sit down on my bed and rest for a moment. That's the reality of where I'm at. I haven't hidden any of that from you. But all in all, I'm feeling more energized throughout my days. And I have increased my stamina. I have more than doubled where I started on the rebounder to where I am today and what I'm able to do. I'm also feeling more nourished because I've made some changes in my supplements and my diet. I'm feeling more empowered. All these things, like I know I am growing stronger. And I'm strength training, upper body one day, lower body the other day, twice a week. So I am showing up. I am living more and I'm feeling better. And yet, 10 pounds? Seriously? And I'm asking that as a question because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Also, shouldn't I have seen it more showing up on my body somewhere? So that's also why I'm glad I'm tracking my physical measurements with a tape measure. And this last round, I will tell you, hardly anything changed. So I was like, okay, well, that's good that it didn't go up, but at the same time, like, what's happening? So here's why I'm bringing the conversation to you, because I do want this to be an update because you asked about my updates, but at the same time, I want to encourage you because obviously I don't have all the answers, but I do know if you're going to go the distance and set a big goal like what I've set, then there will be challenges that are going to arise and you are going to have to think and put yourself in a position for how can I keep going? So here's what I'm advising. Work on becoming a scientist. See the goal that you're working towards, the goal that is so big that you don't know how to achieve it, as an experiment. And your job as a scientist is to collect the data, then study the data, make some insightful adjustments one at a time, because science has proven you only want to change one variable at a time so you know what is working or not. It is this collection of data that you're going to be able to learn from, and that's what's going to get you towards your goal. This is the objective mindset. It allows you to separate your value, your worth, and who you are and how you're showing up without taking it personally when things don't work out. And scientists do experiments like this all the time. They don't expect things to just work out in the first round. They know that it's going to take effort to keep figuring out, to keep tweaking things and making adjustments, because this is all based on uncovering the information and making the discovery that is going to give them the breakthrough, that is going to help them to achieve the goal. Edison is famous not just for inventing the light bulb, but for his persistence in his facing failure. He and his team tested over 6,000 materials for the filament and made more than 1,000 unsuccessful attempts before they found the right combination that would produce the long-lasting and affordable light. When asked how it felt for them to fail so many times, Edison famously replied, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that don't work." And what is so remarkable is that Edison didn't view these failed attempts as defeats. He saw them as data. That's it, as progress towards the solution. And that's what I'm offering for you. That each failure can be a step that eliminates the wrong way to do it and bring you closer to what will work. Are you open to moving through your journey as an objective scientist? Are you willing to collect the data, stay the course, and make the necessary tweaks to finally hit your goal? I've already told you what I'm doing, but I've also put together a list so that you can think beyond the number on the scale and you can find a more holistic understanding of your body by tracking more things. The more information you have, like within reason, you can have more value data points to be able to experiment with and to transform your body. So when we think about your overall body composition, consider that you could measure your inches lost. Track your waist, your hips, thighs, arms, chest, calves, and I even do my neck. Track your body fat percentage. You're going to need a special scale or scanner like what I'm using to be able to do that, but that's a really good way to know how much of your body weight is attributed to fat. Same thing with your muscle mass. You can track that. And then I highly, highly, highly recommend that you're taking a picture in the same way, like the same pose from the same angle, potentially even in the same outfit, and even at the same type of day, and have you eaten in one picture and not eaten in the other. Like keep all the variables consistent so that you can track and see your progress physically, what is happening in the picture. For your energy and your performance, consider tracking your daily energy levels. This is so important. How are you feeling? Your workout performance. For me, like with strength training, it's how many different reps I can do to what, when I see the weight increasing, that I can handle, different things like that. How long I can bounce and what kind of activity I'm and how I'm feeling on the rebounder. The stamina and the strength in which you show up. Can you work out harder and longer and recover faster? For your nutrition and eating habits, you can track macronutrients like your protein, your carbs, and your fat. Your calorie intake is just one element, but protein, carbs, and fats is going to give you a better picture of what you're eating. Your hunger cues, how are you feeling before and after meals, so that you can prevent overeating or undereating. So you stay fully satisfied. You can acknowledge that and stop when you're full. Cravings. Are the cravings going up? Are they going down? What are you triggered by? Your frequency of your cravings. When do they show up? Track all of these different things and learn about your dietary habits. And one critical factor you can't ignore is tracking your sleep and your recovery. How many hours are you getting per night? And what does the quality of your sleep look like? This is something I'm continually dealing with because I do have some sleep issues, and I know that attributes to part of my body composition. Don't forget to track your hydration levels. How much water intake are you having per day? Are you well hydrated? So as a side note, I want you to know that I was drinking a lot of water. So hydration and water intake are actually two different things. You can also track your mindset and your emotional health, your mood throughout the day. How are you feeling? How are your stress levels? This is a good thing to journal about so you can kind of get out your emotions, your image of your body, your image of your value and how you're feeling, your confidence, your self-esteem. And then review your progress so that you can feel it and you can see it. Once again, going back to the picture, but also how are your clothes fitting? posture improvements? Are you standing up better? Are you stronger? Are you more coordinated when you're moving around? Do you find, like, I tripped the other day and I immediately caught myself and I was like, wow, that was really good. Like, my coordination balance has improved. And any other non-scale victories, like me celebrating being able to go up the stairs without my knee aching and screaming at me, that is something to celebrate. So tracking even a few of these things can give you some amazing and very realistic insights. So you take the opinion, you take your personal bias, you take your own ability not to see the victories, and you take all of that out and you become the scientist who can see what is working by looking just at the data, having an objective, neutral viewpoint, so that even if the scale isn't moving, or if like in my situation, the scale is moving in the wrong direction, you have other things that you can lean on to know that it's working, and you just need to stay the course. There's something else that still needs to be revealed. So keep going with what's working and keep making the modest tweaks and adjustments so you can hit your goal. All right, friend, happy bouncing, and I will talk to you tomorrow.